Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thymus gland. Thymus is a bilobed organ which develops from the endoderm of the third pharyngeal pouch of both right and left sides. You can see this thymus is present in the mediastinum just behind the sternum. The thymic primordium grows caudally as a tubular prolongation of epithelium into the mediastinum of the chest. The advancing tip proliferates and finally becomes disconnected from the primitive pharynx. Lymphocytes invades the developing thymus and occupy the spaces between the epithelial cells, so that the thymus is converted into a lymphoepithelial organ. So you can see the thymus is a bilobed organ. It is present just behind the sternum and it is covered by a connective tissue capsule which sends septa. Thymus is a primary lymphoid organ where T lymphocytes develop and undergo maturation. It consists of two lateral lobes situated partly in the thorax above the heart and partly in the neck. Each lobe is surrounded by a capsule and is divided into lobules, which are pentagonal or hexagonal, which are separated from each other by strands of areolar connective tissue called trabeculae. So you can see this is the microscopic picture, and you can see these polyhedral areas in the thymus, which are again divided into the medulla and the cortex. You can see a darkly stained area around at the periphery, which is called the cortex, and the central lightly stained area, it is called the medulla of the thymic lobule. And in the center of the medulla there are present eosinophilic, red in color cystic swellings, which are known as the Hazel's corpuscles or the thymic corpuscles. The structure of the thymus is each follicle is organized into two compartments. The cortex is densely packed with immature T cells called the thymocytes. The medulla, where there are fewer lymphoid cells, these are the thymocytes. It also contains nest-like bodies, concentric corpuscles of Hazel's. As the lymphocytes come to lie between the epithelial cells, these cells are pushed apart, but they remain connected to one another by desmosomes, which now appear to join long cytoplasmic processes of the epithelial cells. As a result, the epithelial cells assume a stellate or star-shaped appearance, so they are known as the epithelial reticular cells. The thymus is well developed before birth and weighs between 10 and 15 grams in a newborn. It continues to enlarge during childhood and reaches its maximum weight, that is 30 to 40 grams, at puberty. After puberty, a progressive involution commences and the organ gradually decreases in size and weight. In a middle-aged individual, the weight is only about 10 grams. You can see in the case of the thymus, here are the different weights during its life cycle. There is a term known as involution. There is a progressive involution and there is an accidental involution. The age involution and the accidental involution. In the case of the age involution, after puberty, the thymus undergoes a physiological process of involution, resulting in a decrease in weight, considerable loss of lymphocytes and epithelial reticular cells, both of which are replaced by the adipose tissue. The thymic corpuscles enlarge in size but decrease in number. Trabeculae become thicker as the lobules atrophy. However, throughout life, there do persist remnants of thymic parenchyma, and thymus remains functional even in the late adult life. There is another accidental involution. The gradual process of age involution may be enhanced by the stress caused by serious infectious diseases and starvation. The accelerated involution, called accidental involution, is due to increased secretion of steroid hormones by the suprarenal cortex in response to stress. Accidental involution is characterized by extensive loss of cortical small lymphocytes. So you can understand that the thymus has got two types of cells. There are epithelial reticular cells and there are lymphocytes present, which are known as the thymocytes. Each thymic lobule is divided into a peripheral dark staining region known as the cortex and a lighter staining central region called the medulla. Both regions contain lymphocytes and epithelial reticular cells, but the relative density of these two cell types varies in the two regions of the thymic lobule. Cortex contains a higher concentration of lymphocytes, while the medulla is relatively rich in epithelial reticular cells. The medulla also contains special epithelial structures called the thymic corpuscles or the Hazel's corpuscles. Each epithelial reticular cell contains a large ovoid nucleus which stains lightly and shows one or two prominent nucleoli. The cytoplasm is quite abundant and stains eosinophilic. It contains a well-developed rough endoplasmic reticulum and a large Golgi apparatus. There are a few lysosomes and also bundles of keratin filaments. The cytoplasm also contains membrane-bound secretory granules. Some epithelial cells of the thymus are not stellate in shape and do not take part in constitution of the cytoreticulum. To be specifically mentioned, there are two special varieties of thymic epithelial cells. The flattened epithelial cells, which form a continuous layer around the periphery of the thymic cortex and around the blood vessels. This layer separates the parenchyma from the connective tissue of the capsule and trabeculae. The perivascular sheath of epithelial cells forms an important component of the blood-thymic barrier. Epithelial cells of a special type are involved in the formation of thymic corpuscles. What are the Hazel's corpuscles? Hazel corpuscles are the cystic. What are the Hazel's corpuscles or the thymic corpuscles? The epithelial cells of a special type are involved in the formation of thymic corpuscles, which are found only in the medullary region of the thymic lobules. These are rounded or oval structures ranging from 20 to 100 microns in diameter. Each of these consists of concentrically arranged flat eosinophilic epithelial cells joined together by many desmosomes and containing conspicuous bundles of keratin intermediate filaments. The central cells may lose their nuclei and degenerate or undergo calcification. They may undergo complete lysis, leaving a cystic structure. Definite function of these corpuscles is not known. As regards the lymphocytes, before its involution, the thymus contains huge numbers of developing T lymphocytes About 95% of these lymphocytes are present in the cortical region of the thymic lobules. The peripheral region of the cortex contains large lymphocytes. These represent the stem cells recently arrived from bone marrow and constitutes 10% of the total thymic lymphocytes. These cells proliferate very actively and produce small lymphocytes at a tremendous rate. The deeper part of the cortex, which forms bulk of the cortical region, contains small lymphocytes called thymocytes. More than 70% of the lymphocytes produced in the thymus die there within 4 days. It is supposed that the large-scale production of lymphocytes generates by random genetic variation T lymphocytes with different immunological competencies to cope with all possible invasive antigens. The enormous lymphocyte mortality represents destruction of those lymphocytes which bear antigenic pattern that would allow them to react against body's own proteins. The thymus induces the death of those T cells that cannot recognize antigen MHC complexes and those that react with self-antigen MHC and pose a danger of causing autoimmune disease. More than 95% of all thymocytes die by apoptosis in the thymus without ever reaching maturity. Functions of the thymus. The production of T lymphocytes. Thymus releases large number of T lymphocytes which are carried by the blood to the so-called thymus-dependent zones in the spleen, lymph nodes, and other lymphoid organs. In the lymphoid organs, T lymphocytes undergo final maturation and then start long life circulating and recirculating through blood and lymph, slowly passing through thymus-dependent zones in the peripheral lymphatic tissue. Under proper stimulus, T lymphocytes proliferate and participate in the cell-mediated immune response. The other function of the thymus is the production of hormones. The epithelial reticular cells of thymus also secrete several thymic hormones, most of which mediate short-range interactions within the thymus. The best known thymic hormone is thymosin, which promotes the transformation of stem lymphocytes into T lymphocytes. The thymopoietin is another thymic hormone. It induces T cell maturation. Another hormone secreted by the epithelial reticular cells is called thymic humoral factor. It is regarded to be essential for the differentiation of T lymphocytes.